ready to get into the game. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be Genesis versus Set to Destroy. With the actions going to be Shogun and Findable Carpet. Guys, take it away.
It is the battle between the 0-2 teams in the RLCS NA League. A must win for both these teams, as both these teams are vying for maybe that 5th and 6th spot at the very least in the NA League.
It's hard for me to predict who's going to come out on top in this series, particularly because, as we know, Genesis likes to get aggressive. We saw even just that last series with Atelier. Chrome going for a bump with Insult following right behind in a shot, giving them a good opportunity. And as we just saw from the stats that Gibbs was pointing out, only half a goal per game from Lemon Puppy and 2 saves. But since he has good accuracy, 33% shooting accuracy, that means he doesn't have a lot of opportunities, which means they're on defense a lot. So being on defense a lot against a team that likes to bump, not a good formula.
No, not at all. Set to Destroy, the main criticism against them throughout the entirety of last week was not enough offense from them. This is a game that we need to see them pushing up very slightly, because the Genesis defense, once they were put up against the passing plays in the last game, did not look that strong. But Radiance, they have to be brave in this one and move themselves forward. Otherwise, they can really struggle in this matchup.
Yeah, Genesis is definitely a team that can get gathered, and when they do work together, it can be potentially unbeatable. But every now and then, when they have that hiccup and they take just a bit too long to get back on a defense, that's when teams like Atelier, anyone that can get aggressive and get the passing plays, will take advantage. But since we know that Set to Destroy has a hard time pulling out of defense, just from the stats we were just looking at, we're going to see how they're going to match up against Genesis.
We sure will, as it's going to be Set to Destroy versus Genesis in our second game this week. It's going to be interesting to see who pushes up early in this first game. Going to be crucial to get early leads and to press on with them, as Halcyon goes to try and take that ball. Classic's going to try and push it forward, but only over to Memory, who's got that one up high. And Halcyon could go for the bumper to Insolences, who still is able to keep that one away. But here is Set to Destroy. Going to finally see what their bombardment offense looks like as they try and press into this final third.
The usual first game feelers, neither team really punishing any mistakes. A lot of wide rotations, but Chrome will be there. Halcyon just in time. Insult takes another shot. Halcyon, can you get a third save? Oh my.
Halcyon just in the right position. The shots towards him were at least quite close, so he could react. Now the dribbling play. Lemon Puppy played it a bit too early, and both these teams, after a quiet start, suddenly explode into the matchup.
Some midfield shots, especially coming from Classic. We see him just taking advantage of that halfway point, trying to force the defenders to get back, and they almost were able to get an opportunity on that last drive.
Well, Classic's over to Chrome, and Chrome hits the crossbar, and a demo sets away Insolences, who cannot come for the rebound. Now Set to Destroy can go for the counter-attacking play, but once again, Genesis in the offense. Chrome just passes that one over to the side, as yet again they're trying to slow down the pace, but both of these teams need to keep that pressure going, need to try and pull that defender out, as there's going to be no one on the rotation for Genesis to turn that one. It's going to try and go all the way, but only over to Chrome. He's looking for Classics. Classics over to Insolences, but gets blocked by Lemon Puppy. That's huge, because that's going to allow Set to Destroy to move themselves forwards as they try and get off the backboard, but Genesis have that one covered.
Set to Destroy has been getting back on defense just in the nick of time, but it is allowing them to press up a bit more. Lemon Puppy is keeping the aggression, but right now we're going to see tight rotations from Genesis on defense. When they know they have the pressure on and they have control, they're not going to give up any unnecessary shots.
Certainly aren't, but there's that bumping play. Insolences double demo off the crossbar, and no shot on target from Chrome. Classics is going to have to just pass that one back inside to himself in frustration. The best opportunity so far in this game goes to Genesis, and they have not scored from it.
It's like a demolition derby. Everyone right now Set to Destroy, trying their best to just suppress the aggression from Genesis. Make sure they don't get any more than 1, maybe 2 shots, but Classics aiming for that post, almost squeezed it in.
Genesis hitting above the goal, hitting to the side of the goal, but they have yet to actually score a goal, as Halcyon and Lemon Puppy are going to join together. Halcyon's in position, but Lemon Puppy unable to control the ball in time. And now Chrome's got Insolences downfield to look at. He's found Insolences, who tried to go for the pass back over to Chrome, but well scouted. And that's something we've seen a lot this season. These passing plays downfield are not as effective as usual. As Halcyon going to try and squeeze that one through. Can he get the block? He's pushed that one in. 1-0.
We see Chrome and Classics retreating on defense together. One goes for boost, but by the time Chrome was able to get there, Classics was faced the wrong direction. Halcyon punished and pushed through, winning 2 50-50s back-to-back, giving them the first goal of the series.
So Genesis, they've had the majority of the possession, they've had the majority of the offensive opportunities, but a lack of accurate shooting has come back to cost them. And they are now 1-0 down. And the point I was trying to make with you earlier is that this season we've seen a lot of these long clearances looking for redirects not working as much. Defenses are a lot more privy to them this season.
It is a lot harder to misdirect your opponents now that people are getting used to it. So it almost seems like you want to try and find a way to catch your opponents off guard, push them into an awkward position, take the shots. There it is. We see one dribbling opportunity. Halcyon pulling out a defender, but not able to capitalize.
Instances over to Chrome, but Chrome misses it. And a lot less of those dribbling plays that we saw last week coming out from Instances. This time more willing to hit the ball long and try and go for the follow as he puts that one high. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining here. 1-0 is still the scoreline for SetToDestroy in this opening matchup. As Instances got to try and take on two. The Halcyon eventually comes in for the cleanup. That's a pass out. Lemon Puppy. Oh. Halcyon was looking for the demo on Chrome, and now Chrome and Classics can try and link up. Chrome took too much time though, and Lemon Puppy gets himself back, but a demo from Chrome yet again. Instances hits the crossbar, and finally, Genesis hit the target.
There's the follow-up from Insolences and Classics. Chrome gets the demo, so they know the net's wide open. Halcyon tries its best to get there, but Insolences passes it beautifully over to Classics, just off kind of that corner crossbar post. So hard to read as a defender. You have to dedicate yourself to that, but Classics, well read.
Especially with the SetToDestroy team, both sat close to that near post. Were not in position to react to the pass, and now his Insolences yet again. He managed to set one up. Can he set up another one? As Classics was just shut down too quickly. 1-1, the scoreline, 45 seconds remaining here. SetToDestroy going to try and combine together as Halcyon gets that into the corner. He's going to have to try and race Chrome, and that's going to be a pass outwards, but all the way downfield. Memory goes for the control. He's ended up losing the ball though to Classics. An extra demo's coming out, this time Halcyon on Chrome, but that is not going to matter to the play. Memory yet again trying to carry the ball, but Chrome has that one covered every single time. Just keep trying to find that corner, but Genesis have that one covered. Have got on a net. Yes, they've got Classics right there, but it's been set up for Memory, who puts that one down. Save there from Chrome. Did not make that one look easy, though.
SetToDestroy is really starting to turn on the heat. I'm really appreciating seeing how they're coming up. They're getting their 2 or 3 shots, but then they're playing safe from then on out. They don't want Genesis to get any counterattacks. But floating above the net, that was almost a bit risky.
Yeah, that was very risky, putting it that high up with so few time remaining in the game. So, overtime between these two teams. Both have had their opportunities, but neither of them are taking a winning score in regular time. SetToDestroy going to have their opportunity to try and push forward, but constantly just seems to go for these long shots, handing the possession straight back over to Genesis. And now here's more bumping. Chrome has to come out because Classics was getting bumped out of the way. Classics just going to push that one into the corner and allow his team to reset their positions, but Insolences with the miss requires Chrome to come back out. Oh, that might be a mistake. Memory, he's got to do something with this. Classics just says, if you're not going to control this ball, I will control it into your net.
Memory attempting to take this off the back wall. I think he was hoping for that awkward pinch moment where it hits the wall and your card at the same time. And then he had to do something about it. He wanted to dribble out, tried to bait Classics in for a shot that wasn't an opportunity. Maybe try to get a flick. But at that point, too much was in the hands of Classics, in the hands of Genesis, and in overtime, they're able to take the first game of the series.
Very important there for Genesis, coming off their loss. Very good for them to bounce back with a win. It was an unconvincing win, but it was a game 1, and we know how game 1s work. Both these teams usually try and settle themselves into it just a little bit more, and that's exactly what we saw here.
A lot more offense from SetToDestroy than I had expected, especially given the stats that Gibbs was talking about. You know, with not many shots on target, a lot of saves, which means while they are good at stopping goals, we talk a lot about this, and we did especially in earlier seasons, the best way to not get scored on is to stop the shots altogether. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to save from the net, which is why a lot of times on defense, you'll see someone come and approach the opponent to cut off all of his angles. Make it harder for him to shoot. Make him have to get it around you and somehow squeeze it in the net, as opposed to just you being a small target in the way, far away in a net, to just dodge and shoot around. So you'll see those angles get close, but the less often a team does that, the more opportunities they're going to give their opponents.
100% agree. And we saw throughout qualifying and last week, the way that Halcyon and the rest of SetToDestroy usually get a hold of their wins is through very low-scoring games. It's either 1, 2, or 3 goals. We don't tend to see more than that. So they try and grind out their opponents, but that usually comes down to them making as few defensive mistakes as possible. Unfortunately, they made the biggest defensive mistake possible, putting it in front of their own net. And they gave game 1 over to Genesis. But this is game 2, and we are on Manfield. I'm just upset this isn't Manfield Night.
That's
so beautiful, man.
Gorgeous.
And speaking of gorgeous, Insolences, oh wow. I've just revealed some hidden feelings for Insolences right there. As Classics.
Here live.
Here live. As Halcyon's going to pick up that ball. And Chrome clears that one away. See, never try and do a segue that's that smooth. It does not work at all.
SetToDestroy now. Getting slightly panicky here and there on defense. A lot of what makes a defender good in net is that he's coming from the net instead of having to turn around or take it from an angle. But right now, no one in net. Lemon Puppy did try and cheat that up. Will they have power on this? Halcyon will come to save the day.
Instances yet again, gets the ball up. He's got Classics and Chrome right around him. No one's going to be back on the defense. If Genesis don't score this, Classics gets the bump on Lemon Puppy, and it's gone in eventually in probably the most scrappy play in Rocket League history.
Actually have no idea what just happened. Lemon Puppy and Classics both accidentally flipped, and then Memory somehow got a touch. It's the only reason Classics even had power on that, because coming across from one side to the other, he was just able to stop the ball and send it in, so the momentum was able to switch as Classics hit it. I don't think without that touch he would have even had the momentum or the angle to flick that in. That was quite a situation.
Classics getting all of the scrappy goals today, but he will not complain about it. Picking up the winner in the last match's overtime. As Classics is down the other end of the field, but here's Memory and the rest of SetToDestroy. Gonna have to get themselves onto offense, as we're already down 1 minute here, and they are down by 1 goal. Lemon Puppy pushes it into corner, but no one gonna pressure that one, realizing that the corner is probably not the best place to put too much pressure on. And Classics over to Chrome. Chrome misses that one, and they keep trying this passing play straight to the middle of the field. Insolences takes the shot, but Memory just clears that one over to the side.
But Resky, Memory also had to pre-jump that, not knowing exactly where that shot was going to be. We see SetToDestroy with a lot of clears, but not always someone there to follow it up, and Genesis is snuffing out a lot of their attempts.
Classics pushing into the corner, allowing his team to re-rotate, get themselves into defense, and SetToDestroy struggling to control this one. And that's going to allow Genesis yet again on the counter-attack. Classics passes out, but not enough power onto that one. And Insolences is going to keep himself back. Pass over to Lemon Puppy. Lemon Puppy! What an unbelievable passing play there from SetToDestroy.
This pass from Halcyon was phenomenal. He saw Lemon Puppy down, so he pushed it a little bit more to the left instead of straight down at the target. Insolence is trying to come across and just body block it, but Lemon Puppy reaching there in the nick of time.
163 kilometers per hour. It got an extra touch there from the defender, which did speed it up, but unbelievable power on that shot. The explosion comes in, and it's now 1-1, 3 minutes remaining, or at least it was 1-1. Insolences immediately responds.
Memory in net, he had to turn around just as it started coming through. Crumble hit it off. I'm surprised Memory wasn't able to reach that, but I think he thought it was potentially going to head off the backboard instead, so he tried to keep his car angled so if he needed to come off of the backboard he could, but instead it just stayed perfectly along it, right over his head, and they lose that tie that they had just worked so hard for.
Well, Genesis starting to look more comfortable in the offense, coming out with more passing plays. As Lemon Puppy has basically just passed that one straight up to Insolences, as if there's any player on Genesis that will happily just pick up a ball and carry it, it is Insolences. As Classics and Insolences both in the same corner. Chrome clears that one over to the side, only over to Lemon Puppy. Pushing that one up, and Halcyon has to clear that one. And SetToDestroy, they cannot afford to be stuck into old habits. They need to start pushing themselves forward. Double demo there from Classics, but it is not going to matter as SetToDestroy keeping that pressure up, and Insolences gets crucial contact above the goal line.
Good delay on that hit as well, waiting for it to hit off that backboard so the momentum was going in the direction of his favor. Insolences wants to follow this up. Genesis doing a good job of following each other's touches, but every now and then they give up possession.
And just seems like SetToDestroy take their time a little bit too often and go for the passing play yet again. That is something they have certainly been practicing during the week from the amount of times that we have seen it. Chrome's going to try and pass that one all the way back to Insolences, flicks it up, and side jump from him. He does not want to commit. Saw Halcyon already in the air. Memory has got to go for a good clearance on this one. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. 2-1. And Genesis looking good to get their second win of this series. And they're just starting to push SetToDestroy into their own half. And it's going to be crucial now for SetToDestroy not to make any mistakes and try and find a clean way of getting out of this final third, which they are struggling to do. And how much boost have they got remaining? As Classics actually loses that one. Here comes SetToDestroy, but it's going to be pushed back over to their half yet again. No one going to challenge this one. Classics can take this as long as he wants, but over contact. Just hands that one straight back over, but mistakes yet again could be costing SetToDestroy big.
Now Memory wasn't actually able to get that on his car. Classics will get it around one defender and then pass it perfectly back to Insolences, but the shot was too weak. Halcyon will save it, but the aggression continues. Chrome with a shot.
SetToDestroy putting up valuable defense right now, but they need valuable offense. Running into the final 30 seconds of this matchup, still 1 goal down as Genesis continue to prod and press.
No
Pass over
way.
to Classics, and yet again, not enough power from Genesis to finish it off.
These shots are just getting a bit overwhelming, but SetToDestroy do finally clear it out of their half. I think they're waiting a bit too patiently for that perfect opportunity where the passes allow themselves, instead of trying to make it or maybe even bump a few players, to give themselves some space.
Well, here's their final opportunity. They need to get out of their half. They need to set something up. Too much context onto that one, though. The ball cannot touch the floor as Halcyon puts that one up over to Lemon Puppy. Lemon Puppy gets that one up yet again. Cleared away by Chrome and Classics. All the way to the other end. 2 games to 0. Genesis looking a little bit comfortable at this point.
I mean, they really just have full control. SetToDestroy is struggling to get it out of their half, and I can't tell if it's a mixture of not being confident or not really seeing where your opportunities lie. But a lot of it is where you're going to place the ball if you're going to push it out. And we'll see a lot of times SetToDestroy will get a good save and then one kind of powerful punch right after that, right? Like they save the ball and they kind of get a flick, but then no one's there to follow it up. Yes. Genesis will be, because as we know, they're a team that loves to contest nearly everything. And Chrome, absolutely barbaric right now with the amount of demos and bumps. I saw sometimes he's like, well, I got nowhere else to go, so I'm just going to go try and bump goalie. Lemon Puppy did finally start getting an idea of Chrome coming for him, so he hopped over a few of the attempts. But he doesn't spend that much more time. No. He goes for the demo, he misses, he then steals some boost, heads back out, but you don't even see that falter. They still keep the shots up, even with them taking that extra time.
Yeah, just constantly keeping this team of SetToDestroy in their final third. Really struggling right now. But with these amount of demos, Genesis should not be called Genesis. They should be called Extinction with the amount that they're coming in on this one. Just constant barbaric attacks on these players. And it's meaning that, honestly, SetToDestroy don't really look like they're even able to get out of their final third, let alone set up a good team play like they're going to need in order to beat this Genesis defense.
Yeah, and it is interesting, especially when you're going to potentially have a demolition on an opponent who's stuck on defense. If you've been starving them a boost, you giving them a demolition sometimes helps them, because they spawn with more boost than they probably had if you're doing a good job of starving them. But it gives you that initial opportunity where it is going to be a 3v2 for the next several seconds and gives you a shot on net potentially if you time it right.
So 2-0 in the series, and Genesis with 2 2-1 victories to their name. So now Chrome goes for the long clearance. It's going to be interesting to see if Genesis are just going to be happy to redeploy the same strategies, or if they're going to allow SetToDestroy to set something up. Here's the passing play. Memory over into the corner. Halcyon's got to turn himself around for this, but Insolences with the control. He's got Classics and Chrome in support. It's going to go over to Lemon Puppy. That's not any of those names that I brought up right there. Lemon Puppy coming in with the steal onto that one. He's got this ball up into the air. Going to try and look for Halcyon, who's coming barreling, hits the crossbar. And now Insolences Classic has to work together, but a much better start there from SetToDestroy.
They do have the aggression, but just a few times a bit wider, a bit short on their shots. I think there was a complete missed opportunity, but now Lemon Puppy, can he follow this through? Will Chrome be there?
Oh, hits the post and does not go in. Yet again, Genesis, they've been on the defense for the majority of this game so far, a minute in. And it's pretty much been all SetToDestroy, but no goals to their name, as they have to try and find something in a game that they must win. Memory, he's got Lemon Puppy to look for. He can just try and go the whole way himself, but Classics just gets there in time. Now Lemon Puppy against Classics. Classics has actually been doing a lot of 1v1 plays so far in this series.
He wants the bump.
He's going to find Chrome. Chrome puts that one down. Oh! Classics! Bump in the background. Score for Genesis.
Oh, these barbarians. They don't let anyone sit in net safely. Memory had all the time in the world to make this save, but Classics just absolutely destroyed him. Shoved him right into the back of the net. That is going to give them the 1-goal lead. Even if you don't have a good opportunity and the defense looks tight, doesn't matter if they're not there.
SetToDestroy have just been hit, destroyed, and exterminated throughout the entirety of this series so far. As now they're going to try and put a shot on target, hits the post yet again. And now it's that lack of shooting accuracy that's coming to cost them. Although Classics went for the 50-50 against Lemon Puppy, and Lemon Puppy won it quite handily. And yet again, not turned in, although it was a 50-50, so it was not a clean shot. Memory puts that one up high. No one there to try and take the shot after him, as Halcyon's going to rotate backwards to put this one up high yet again. Insolences passes that one to Chrome. Chrome misses that. Lemon Puppy off the backboard. Halcyon's there to try and react, but doesn't get contact. And SetToDestroy, it's almost like they're just not used to being an offense, not used to being able to take these shots, because they have not got not only no goals, but they're not getting even shots on target at this point.
And I think a lot of the times they're protecting their own touches, but the moment that one of their players forces a defender into making a certain clear, try and read that clear, because you know you're pushing them into a place where you're forcing their hand. You know they have to clear it from right to left. So put yourself on the left side of the field and get ready to continuously make them have to make those clears that you're forcing them to make.
Pass straight out there. Chrome takes the shot, and he just gets hit for his troubles. Now Lemon Puppy passes over to Halcyon. Oh, too much power on that. Halcyon cannot control the ball at all. As we've actually seen two players commit to that. Halcyon's got memory and support, although just not enough contact. And the passing play does not work. 2 minutes remaining.
Classics wanted to go for net again, trying to take out that goalie.
He is a monster with a mace, as Classics puts that one, hits the post. Insolences just wants to disrupt the attempted clear, but here they are. Ball straight back over to Genesis, and Halcyon just having a little bit of a nib away at Chrome. And more demo plays coming out. Classics is just looking for anyone, really. It's been an incredibly unorthodox way of playing, but it has worked out for them brilliantly so far.
I mean, it's single-handedly forcing yourself an opportunity. SetToDestroy, as we mentioned, clearly has a pretty strong defense with all the saves. Like, oh, what a touch from Chrome.
Chrome, beautiful touch, and that's going to mean that there's still pressure on Halcyon. Has to try and clear it, but it's still in front of their net. Chrome pushes that towards the net, and SetToDestroy get away with it. Lovely touch. There's no one back here. Insolences just got himself in position as Lemon Puppy was trying to find a way through, but yet again, SetToDestroy had their opportunity and just could not control the ball. Now Memory just tries to clear it, but now the ball's up high. Classics hits that one. It's going to hit the crossbar. Chrome comes in. Shot from him. Hits the post. And it's still 1-0. These misses, not good for Genesis, but they are still in the lead. And SetToDestroy have 40 seconds remaining to try and rescue this set. Insolences going to go over. Try to go for something. I'm not too sure what, though. Just trying to misplace the ball, if anything. Take out the defense. As Genesis have two players there, and SetToDestroy have two players there. Eventually, SetToDestroy do win the ball out. 22 seconds remaining. And Genesis, shot on target. Classics can round this one out, but Memory passes that one out to the side. SetToDestroy stuck in the same position yet again. 1 goal down, 10 seconds remaining. Can they pull anything out? That's a miss there from Chrome. That's going to help them out. Halcyon passes that one over to Lemon Puppy! 1-1, 5 seconds remaining, and Genesis held back too much.
After 9 shots on net, they finally sink one in. Accuracy seeming to curse them so far this series, but Lemon Puppy with 5 seconds left finds himself in a place to squeeze that in to the right post. It is now a tie game, but they're still 1 goal away from losing. Can SetToDestroy keep this up?
They're going to have to. We are going to go to overtime unless SetToDestroy can put something together here. Insolences allows that one to drop. Overtime here. And if Genesis take the goal, they will win the series. If SetToDestroy take it, then we will continue, and they will still need 2 more wins. Shot onto target. That's going to be loose. Chrome comes in, tries to finish it. And Memory, double save from him. Recorrects his car in midair and takes that one away. Impressive from him. SetToDestroy need to keep themselves calm. They need to keep a strong offense going, otherwise they'll settle into what most teams do when they're nervous, and which is just launching the ball as far away as possible and hoping for mistakes, but they will not happen. Ball off the side, but no one coming in, and that's an over-rotation there from Genesis. Long shot coming in from Lemon Puppy. Classics just there in time, clears that one over to the side. SetToDestroy, just their rotations, they never look like they're ready for the attempted clears from Genesis, and it means that they can never get sustained offense going.
And all the attempts at demolitions from Genesis, definitely every now and then, as we saw just a bit ago, a small over-rotation because someone stays just that little bit longer to potentially look for a demo, but that extra second or two can really throw your team off kilter.
It's going to be a pass over to the side, but easily cleared away from Chrome, although that's now an open goal. Well, there's actually 2 players back for that one. Still, we're facing towards the net, so it means that they're going to have to deal with the pressure coming out towards them. Memory is in position to try and take the shot. He's managed to get it, but not on target. and Insolences can take control, but SetToDestroy, they've managed to keep sustained pressure on for the first time, maybe in this entire series. But nothing yet put into the net that could keep their series dreams alive. 2 players commit yet again. This is happening a lot to Genesis now, and they need to cut it out. Halcyon tried to go for the Jacob redirect, but no contact from him at all. The pressure and the spacing and the speed of this game definitely slowing down, as neither of these teams wanting to make any mistakes.
The usual kind of situation that happens in overtime. For those of you that don't know, I'm sure everybody does, first goal to take this is going to be the one. So teams tend to slow it down. They don't want to use a silly mistake to make the loss.
Well, Classics is going to go for the fake on that one, but Memory refused to move. And now Insolence is just there. No demo plays coming out from Genesis anymore. And that's a pass out. Classic shot from him. Memory and Lemon Pipey both commit to that one, and it stayed out of their net. They are still in this. Insolence's shot, but that is going to be straight at Memory, but they're still passing this straight into a danger area. Genesis Chrome, he's left it for ages, does not get contact. Insolences will finish this one off. SetToDestroy waited too long, and Genesis keep their playoff hopes alive.
I don't think anybody had boost left. Halcyon coming off that back wall. I don't think Lemon Puppy had, he had no boost whatsoever. He tried his best to come underneath, and that is what constant aggression will do. Genesis putting on just too many shots. SetToDestroy coming so close, bringing the 3rd game to overtime. Almost able to keep their dreams alive, but getting 3-0 swept in this series. Genesis will take this one, but only 1 goal win per game. It was 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 every single game.
Every single time, 2-1. And this might be highlighting a big problem here for SetToDestroy, though. They are never scoring that many goals. I don't know what their highest amount of goals in one game is, but it can't be that high. And when you've got 3 games in a row here against a team like Genesis that did look very shaky in the game against Atelier, you have to be really worried about their position right now. Might be looking at an 8th place spot. They need to really pick it up going into their next game. But we're going to talk more about this on the desk.
Thanks so much, Shogun, and oh my goodness. Genesis, they get their win. SetToDestroy still looking for their first win here in league play. The underdogs really struggling right now to find any sort of semblance of cohesion as a team.
They just sit back too much. They're trying to sit back on defense, and Genesis is one of those teams that loves to demo the goalie, and that's just like 2 things that you don't want at the same time. Is one team that loves to sit in it, the other team loves to destroy the goalies. They can't get any counter plays. Game 1, extremely physical game. But again, with Genesis, you think they would try and win these games maybe a little bit more convincing. 2 overtimes and all 2-1 games. They need to bounce back in the future weeks after this.
Well, you talked about how the early games were aggressive, and we saw it there. Like, they finally got a game to overtime, but then they make such a huge mistake for a team that demos and is really aggressive. You then see SetToDestroy sitting back and dribbling it in front of their own net, just waiting for something bad to happen.
And SetToDestroy, before today, was giving up 9.5 shots per game. They just gave up 29 shots in 3 games, so not looking good. They're worst in the league at that. They cannot be giving up this many shots because eventually something will break and finally the goal will be scored. Here with Genesis, great demo play here from Chrome, or not even a demo, just a bump play, but those are the plays that you have to be rotating around and coming from the side for those saves instead of just sitting in net.
Yeah, they're taking full advantage of it.
Now, there are 2 teams left in league play who have yet to get a win. SetToDestroy and the other team we're going to be seeing here after the break, Take 3. So this is the best opportunity that SetToDestroy is going to have to get that win in the situation. But I do want to point out, we said it on the desk, you guys have said it as well, that these games are decided by 1 goal. While SetToDestroy maybe looked rough, there was definitely some scrappy situations, this is still a very competitive, tight region right now of North America.
Yeah, it's just hard to win 3 of those games at this point. Like, sure, they were close games, but they lost all 3. Say 1 goes their way, maybe 2 because of the 2 overtimes. You still have to find ways to win past that. Like, it is possible. Like, pretty much every team that's playing right now is extremely strong, but you got to pull off those overtime wins. Very, very important.
Absolutely. So that does it for Genesis for week number 2 of league play here at the RLCS. SetToDestroy's got 1 more game. When we come back, they'll be taking on Take 3. You know, that's what you do with Take 3. You just take them on. I guess that one makes sense there. So I'm excited to see that game's gonna be a great one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.